if you go way back to when we first started buying ambulances and getting all this stuff together to provide an ambulance service, our chief at that time, David Lewers, who was the pioneer who came up with the whole idea of this. David was doing a great job of getting all this lined up, but of course, if you're going to have an ambulance, you have to figure out how you're going to run a service. Well, who ran the ambulance service here for decades and decades prior to that? Well, Unity Point.
The hospitals,
Regional.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Lutheran and St. Joe's before that.
So they were the ambulance provider. So David, being a very collaborative, working kind of guy.
He was collaborating?
He was collaborating.
Now, you're talking Lures?
Yes, David Lewers went out to Trinity and said, hey, we want to get into the ambulance service. How can we work with you to make this a good working relationship? So he started working with the emergency services personnel, the ER, the hospital administration, all the folks relevant, and they came up with this memorandum of understanding. Here's how Trinity and Unity Point functions today. Here's how we believe we can work with you to provide additional service. That's where the memorandum of understanding comes from.
Was there an agreement between the fire department and what is now Unity Point to cover different parts of town or the county? Or?
No, at that time and still today, Unity Point was considered the first responder, first call out. So they would respond first.
And that was in the agreement?
I believe it's in the agreement that,
Okay.
The
Unity Point
functionality
would go
of Unity
first,
Point would go first.
Right.
We would fill in if they were shorthanded and needed additional assistance. If they were already on a call, we would go then first. We would coordinate transfers with them, so moving a patient from Fort Dodge to Iowa City or Des Moines or even Mayo, Rochester. If they needed somebody moved, we would do some of those things for them, or maybe they would be doing a transfer themselves and they would ask us to be first up. So all those different scenarios were discussed and then put in an agreement in the form of a memorandum of understanding saying, here's how we should try to make this work. Well, that was working very well. And then David retired and moved away, and Kent came, Kent Hewlett, and Kent wanted to